Now, street witnessing, like I said, is a very awesome thing. But it's huge and it's life-changing when a group like this, a church or a school, gets on fire to share their faith, to live their lives for Jesus, to be witnesses for Him everywhere you go. Now, most of you here in this room are not called to talk to strangers. Not at all. But look at your own lives. How many people do you know? Friends, brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents, neighbors. Are these all people that you see, at least on a daily or every other day type basis? You're going to see these people, right? You have been called today by God to be a witness to these people, to be a reminder to these people. You need to pay attention to what you do and pay attention to what God is actually doing in your life. In John chapter 4, verses 13 through 14, Jesus, He's talking here. And He's talking to this Samaritan woman at the well. And He says in John 4, 13 through 14, whoever drinks this water shall thirst again. He's talking about the water in this well. Whoever drinks that is going to thirst. But whoever drinks the water that I shall give, the water that I shall give will become in him a fountain of living water, springing up into everlasting life. What happens if you stand too close to a fountain? You get wet, right? What happens if you stand too close to someone who's on fire and passionate to live their lives for Christ?
You get burned.
You get burned? You see miracles happen, don't you? You see lives changed. You get wet with the Spirit of Christ. Now, I'm going to share a little bit also about actually sharing the gospel, because that can be a difficult thing sometimes for people. First thing is study. Study the Bible. See what God actually says. See the ways that Jesus shared, things like that. Picture this. Okay, say you're going in for a very difficult, complex surgery. Maybe it's heart surgery, okay? Who are you going to go out there and find? Are you going to go out there and search for a heart surgeon who's an expert, right? He's read every single book on it. Maybe even written a few of his own. He has seen the surgery performed, participated, and led it himself. You want an expert for that surgery, don't you? Because it's your own heart that he's going to be operating on. You don't want a first-timer. Now, you know what? People out there in the world look at the church to be spiritual surgeons. We need to put in that same effort and that importance and actually see what the Bible says. Study it. Practice it. Know how to share your faith with people. Picture this. We're on a plane today, and the stewardess comes by. Anyone ever fly on a plane? Oh my goodness. Okay, you're on this plane today, and the stewardess comes by and says, I'd like to offer you this parachute. It's a wonderful parachute. It's going to make your ride a better place. It's going to give you everything you want on the ride, and it's even going to save you. Would you like to try it? Anyone here want to try that parachute? And he says, sure. I'll try anything at least once, right? So you put it on. And you start to get a little bit disgusted because, man, this thing is heavy. I can't sit up straight anymore. And then you start looking around. Everyone else, you still have to wait for your drink just like everyone else. And then you hear, man, they're laughing and making fun of me. All the rest of the passengers are. And finally you take it off, throw it to the ground, discard it. And you start to share with people how you were actually tricked. You were deceived to get this parachute. But, picture this, we're on that same plane, but this time, that stewardess comes by, and she says, now this might sound a little bit weird, but on this plane today, we're actually going to be throwing people overboard at random. If you wear this parachute, the entire time, it will save you. Well, sure, bring it on. How many people want that parachute? Oh yeah. So you put this thing on gladly. And it's still heavy. Same weight. But you actually cling tighter to it because you know it's your salvation. And people are still laughing and making fun of you. But now you start to lean over to them and share with them about how wonderful this parachute is and how they can get a parachute of their own. Now, don't get me wrong. Anytime you ask God to show you what to say and you're trusting in God and following Him, when you share your faith, that's an awesome thing. But many times when we do share our faith, if we aren't trusting, if we haven't studied, if we don't know what we're doing, we can confuse people about what it is to be saved. They're looking for health and wealth. I want all this stuff right here, right? Who wants stuff? Who wants to get stuff from God? It's not, we don't pray and pretend that God is our Santa Claus, asking Him for our Christmas wish list. But He actually wants to give us something completely different, spiritual blessings. Now, let's see. Kind of getting away from myself here. What did Jesus do when He shared His faith? Where did He quote from more than any other place? No? Bethlehem? Yes, He did teach from Bethlehem, didn't He? Very good answer. He quoted from the Old Testament, mostly the law, Deuteronomy and Leviticus. He quoted the law to these people. This rich young ruler came to Jesus and he asked him, how can I get to heaven? And Jesus takes him through some of the Ten Commandments. The law is actually a tool. Paul said in Galatians 3:24 that the law is our tutor to bring us to Christ, where we might be justified by faith. Now, many people out there think they're going to heaven because of the good things they've done. Anyone here do good things? Good things? Okay. Are those good things going to take you to heaven?
No.
No. But you know what? In the world, many people out there think that the good things they're doing are going to take them to heaven. But the Bible actually tells us a little bit differently, that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Now, you can't go up to a person and say, excuse me, you have a disease and you need a cure for that disease. They're going to think, what? You're weird. I don't have any disease. But if you go up to someone and say, excuse me, you know what? I was looking at you and you're showing 5 classic symptoms to a deadly disease. I had it myself and I almost died from it. Would you like the cure? Well, now things are a little bit more different. Of course I want the cure. If this guy's saying I have these things, he had it himself, I'm at least going to check it out, right? The cure is a lot easier to accept when you see what the problem is. And that's why Jesus said, or that's why Paul was saying to use the law as our tutor. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit unusual here. I'm going to bring a street witnessing event live right here in our sanctuary right here. You guys ready for this? It might completely blow up in my face. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I need participation. Can you guys participate? Okay. Let's see. I got some questions. And by the way, this is a similar type of a thing to what I do when I go witnessing at the college here, OSU, or high schools, or skate parks, or farmers markets. These places are places that God has opened up for me to share at. And so listen to what's going on here, and use these things. Pray that God would actually use these in your heart and in your life. And if He opens up the door for you to share some or whatever to people, then be willing to do that, to step out.